In a move carried out by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it announced its need for a number of executioners who are not required to have any academic qualifications, but rather the physical ability to implement the penalties of beheading and amputating. Meanwhile, the Kingdom has made a bid to head the 2016 Human Rights Council.
What Saudi Arabia is doing is engaging in a preemptive marketing campaign to justify a forthcoming crackdown against the Shiite population. The Shiites will be protesting very heavily when Sheikh Nimr al-Nimr is beheaded, which unfortunately should be any day now. And also, they were just targeted by ISIL, so they have some very legitimate grievances. However, Saudi Arabia wants to make itself look good before it comes down with a bloody crackdown.
Reviewing some examples related to human rights in Saudi Arabia brings to the mind the case of the Saudi blogger Raif al-Badawi, who was sentenced to 1,000 lashes in public. To be fair though, the sentence is carried out in a human manner by distributing it over 19 weeks, let alone sentencing him to 10 years in prison. It was remarkable that Saudi Arabia tried to activate its record by intimidating its counterparts when it tried to silence them repeatedly.
Mr. Badawi is a prisoner of conscience who is guilty of nothing more than daring to create a public forum for discussion and peacefully exercising the right to freedom of expression. Corporal punishment,
I have to interrupt.
such as flogging.
I have to interrupt you. There is a point of order. There is a point of order, Saudi Arabia.
In the same context, Human Rights Watch reported that the last man executed in Saudi Arabia became the 85th victim this year, compared to the year 2014, when 88 people were executed all year long. Similarly, other human rights organizations say that Saudi Arabia comes within the top 5 countries in the world to carry out death penalties.
The group loses all sense of legitimacy because how can Saudi Arabia criticize any other country when the Saudis behead their own people?
It is also worth mentioning that Saudi Arabia is the largest importer of arms in the world, according to the Experts Office of Arms Control Center report in London. This might actually raise a question about the motive behind the import of such enormous arsenal of weapons. Is it to settle stability and peace in the region, or to support Takfiri Wahhabi groups who are ruining nations and spreading hatred instead? Nermin Mardini, MEC.